Hi everyone, I am here at the Bible study. I hope you're having a good night.
It's not night time.
It is almost.
It is not. It ain't night time till 7. It's only 4:30.
It will be by the time I get it uploaded. What question am I judging? Today we're going to be in the book of Matthew, Matthew chapter 25. We'll be talking about the parable of the 10 virgins and the parable of the talents. It's really good. And the sheep and the goats. I really like the parable of the talents. Apparently I have a house full of goats. Quit looking around trying to find them.
I was looking for her. Where'd he go?
You're a nut.
The
All right.
big cloud.
Not even gonna make a bomb.
Big cloud. Big cloud. Big cloud.
Stop it, I'm not even wearing makeup.
Doesn't matter.
Tonight the devotion is by Katie Minster-Jones. We haven't heard from Katie in a while. Sure, Becky. Maybe. And the Bible verse that goes along with Katie's devotion is Matthew 25 verse 40, which says, "The king will reply, 'Truly I tell you, whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me.'" That is Jesus saying that. That's what Jesus will say to you. What you did to help people on this earth, your other brothers and sisters, which is everyone. Whether you done good to them or bad to them, it was the same as you doing that to Jesus. Truly I tell you, whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Whether you did much or did nothing at all. Okay, so now let's read Matthew chapter 25. At that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. The foolish ones took their lamps, but did not take any oil with them. The wise, however, took oil in jars along with their lamps. The bridegroom was a long time in coming, and they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight the cry rang out, "Here's the bridegroom, come out to meet him." Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, our lamps are going out." "No," they replied, "there may not be enough for both us and you. Instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." But while they were still on their way to buy the oil, the bridegroom arrived. The virgins who were ready went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later the others also came. "Sir, sir," they said, "open the door for us." But he replied, "I tell you the truth, I don't know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour." Again, it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted his property to them. To one he gave 5 talents of money, to another 2 talents, and to another 1 talent, each according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received the 5 talents went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 more. So also the one with the 2 talents gained 2 more. But the man who received the 1 talent went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. The man who had received the 5 talents brought the other 5. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 talents. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. The man with the 2 talents also came. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 2 talents. See, I have gained 2 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Then the man who had received the 1 talent came. Master, he said, I knew that you are a hard man, harvesting where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid and went out and hid your talent in the ground. See, here is what belongs to you. His master replied, you wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvested where I have not sown, and gather where I have not scattered seed. Well then, you should have put my money on deposit with the bankers, so that when I returned, I would have received it back with interest. Take the talent from him and give it to the one who has the 10 talents. For everyone who has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. And throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne in heavenly glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you? The king will reply, I tell you the truth. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me. Then he will say to those on the left, depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me. They also will answer, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty, or a stranger, or needing clothes, or sick, or in prison, and did not help you? He will reply, I tell you the truth. Whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me. Then they will go away to eternal punishment, but the righteous to eternal life. So whatever you do to people on this earth, whether they're rich people, whether they're poor people, whatever, the way you treat others, what you do to them is the exact same thing you're doing to Jesus through that person. Whether you're helping them and doing good and making Jesus proud, or you're hurting them in some way and not helping them, well, you're not helping Jesus then either, and you're disappointing him. So that's what it means. Whatever you do to people on this earth, you are doing the same to Jesus, whether good or bad. So always remember that before you do anything. Alright guys, now I will read the devotion. I do have the other circle of kindness for you today as well. Okay, Katie has to say tonight. She said, I noticed a thin young man sitting alone at a small table near the door of the fast food restaurant. He appeared homeless and hungry. A backpack was on the floor beside him. Although the weather was freezing, he wore a thin jacket and sandals. His socks were dirty and had holes in them. If he doesn't buy something soon or bothers anyone, he'll have to leave, I overheard the manager say. I ordered my food and sat down. Let me stop right there for a minute. I don't know what's wrong with these fast food places and these other restaurants, whatever, with the homeless people. You heard what they said. If he doesn't buy something soon or bothers anyone, he'll have to leave. He wasn't bothering anybody. He was just sitting there, probably getting warm, from the cold outside. Homeless people are not all bad people. Just like all people that live in the fanciest mansions are not all good people. There was a story I read. This woman brought this homeless man. I can't remember whether he was homeless and she brought him in, or he was already in the fast food place. It was either Wendy's or McDonald's. Okay, but anyway, she went up to order him food and brought it back to him to eat in there. They told her he could not stay in there and eat the food. He would have to leave. And they made the homeless man leave. They wouldn't let him sit in the restaurant and eat that food. Now that's not right. And I don't know how they got by with that. That's downright cruel.
There's an employee that bought a homeless man food too, and they fired her for it.
Yeah, an employee bought a homeless man a dinner. Helping somebody like Jesus would do. If a homeless person came into your restaurant, starving, homeless, no food or money, if that was Jesus in disguise, would you say, get out of here? You're not allowed to be in here. Or would you offer to buy them something to eat? Well, she offered to buy him something to eat, and then she got fired for it. That's not right. But either way, she's good in Jesus' eyes. She done the right thing in God's eyes. And those people who fired her for it will answer for that one day. They'll be on the side of the goats on the left. That just really upsets me, the way they treat homeless people and others. And there's a lot of homeless veterans. If it wasn't for the veterans, we wouldn't be here having all this freedom right now. The veterans in our country, here in America, are treated like garbage. It's disgraceful. Sorry, let me continue. I can't sit here and eat when I see someone who looks hungry. If not for your grace, God, that could be me. Would you want, if that was you, would you want somebody to offer you a meal? Or would you want everybody to ignore you and then tell you to get out of there and leave? Like you're a nobody. Please touch the manager's heart so he lets the young man stay inside, I pray. I went to the counter and bought a restaurant gift card. I discreetly laid the card on the table where the man sat. Jesus told me to bless you, I whispered, and went back to my seat. He bought a meal and quickly devoured it. Remembering I had some donations for the homeless shelter in my car, I went outside. I put a thick jacket, a New Testament Bible, and some socks in a bag. I went back into the restaurant and placed the bag by his bag. He thanked me. He thanked me as I walked away. And I was just grateful that I was given the opportunity to bless someone, as so many people have blessed me in the past. Acts 20:35 says, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Every day we have the opportunity to reach out in love to those around us. When we do this, we mirror Jesus' love for humanity. We fulfill his purpose for us, and in the blessing of others, we are blessed. True. So true. It does feel so much better to give than to receive. When you give somebody something and it makes them happy, like it did this man, by giving him food and clothes, making his life better, it makes your heart truly, truly happy. And it makes God's heart even happier. It makes him very proud of you, just like you would be proud of your child for doing the same. Okay. Now I have Circle of Kindness for you. The first one is by Dorothy from Queensbury, New York. She says, "It feels good to know we helped animals in need. We recently sold our family home of 30 years and were faced with the task of downsizing. Having shared our lives for the past 15 years with five beautiful Siberian Huskies, we accumulated a lot of dog items. Currently down to 2 dogs, we realized it was time to part with some of the dogs' belongings." The dogs might not have thought so. Knowing the local shelter was in need of supplies, we gathered together crates, dishes, and toys and donated them. It brings me comfort to know we helped dogs in need. Shelters always need help, guys. Shelters and pounds with food and everything. Those dogs need toys to play with too, and soft beds to lay on, food to eat. You know, a lot of times it's volunteers working there. And even if not, I mean, they basically run on donations and stuff from people to take care of those animals. Or, you know, they just have to be put down. I like the no-kill shelters myself, because I don't believe in putting an animal down if there ain't nothing wrong with it. Okay, and the next one is by Dace from Tacoma, Washington. "It was such a wonderful surprise from a thoughtful friend. A friend and I were discussing books by an author whose work we both enjoy. One volume was of particular interest to me as it could help with research for the novel I am writing. The book was out of print, but I discovered it was available from a reseller. I told my friend that I didn't want to buy it since it was a bit pricey and my budget's tight. Imagine what a wonderful surprise it was when the book showed up in my mailbox. It was such a great gift from my thoughtful friend. I would have done the same thing. That's the whole thing I was thinking about when he was saying that. I would have bought that book and sent it to him. And the last one is by Eugenia from Dayton, Ohio. It's a beautiful thing to reach out to others. While in line at the bank, I decided to make small talk with the woman behind me. We both noticed how long it was taking, but we were having a great time chatting and laughing. Finally, it was my turn. I told the woman how nice it was talking to her, and she asked me to wait for her. Once she was done, she reached my hand and said, "This is for you. Thank you for making me laugh." When I looked, I saw she had given me $100. I was overwhelmed. It's a beautiful thing to reach out to others because you never know who will be touched. All she wanted was a laugh. That woman gave her a laugh, and well, I'm going to give her $100 just for making my day better. She might need the money. Maybe she had told her something about needing money or something, and then, nevertheless, they probably, I wonder if they got a friendship out of it, if they talked after that. Since they, talked so friendly and laughed and stuff together, seemed like it'd be a good friendship, You could have that much fun together that quick. Be like somebody you'd want to talk to and not just, part ways with and never see again. I wonder if they shared numbers or something. It'd be interesting to know the story behind these stories sometimes, wouldn't it? Woman's World has got a new magazine, I guess, called Animal Heroes. 48 astonishing tales of love and courage. It's on sale, 99-page issue. They don't say how much it is. I thought about going to look. I don't know if it's an everyday or an every month thing, or it's just one special thing they're doing, but you see what I mean? You see it right there with that corgi on it? I know you can buy Woman's World online too and read it online, but I prefer, the book. But I'm going to go look that up and see if it's like a monthly thing or just a one-time thing and how much it is. Pick up a copy everywhere that magazines are sold, or order one to be delivered right at your door at www.mag.com/hero. Oh. Alright, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go check that out. So if I order this, guys, I'll be reading to you guys some animal hero stories sometimes. I'm not sure whether I'll order that one or I'll order some more animal devotions that we had before. Probably one or the other eventually. Alright guys, our next Bible study will be in Book of Matthew, chapter 28, which will be going over the resurrection, the guard's report, and the Great Commission. It's the last chapter of Matthew. And that'll be by Gwen Ford Falconberry. Oh, and your homework tonight, your homework tonight is pray that Jesus will give you opportunities to bless those around you. You always got an opportunity to bless someone. You always do. Surely do. Alright guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again soon with another Bible study, hopefully tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a great night's sleep. Good night, guys.